All right, how's it going on? It's fantastic. This is a new laptop that we'll go over today. I've been using it a little bit. We're gonna really start pushing some stuff though. We're not gonna stay on stock. Me on stock is a very short endeavor. So we're gonna take the stock experience, look at some of the stuff and go, hey, what can we steal? What can we use? What can we modify? And to make a whole new desktop. Obviously, the stock Kubuntu is fine. It's fine. But I have a lot of customizations I always do on my system, so I wanted to do this stream just kind of one breaking that down. What does that look like? When I grab a Linux distro, why does all my Linux distros look the same? Well, there's a reason, because it's really reliable. Everything's exactly the same no matter what system I'm on, whether I'm on a laptop, whether I'm on my studio PC, inside production PC, work PC, they're all set the same. They all look the same. You can't even tell, one's on Debian and one's on Arch, you still don't know, because honestly, once the packages are installed, it all works the same. So I wanted to take just kind of a stock laptop that I got. I hadn't had a new laptop in about 2 years, so I was definitely overdue. And this one's going to be the Kfocus. We'll get into specs and all that, and also just talk about Linux laptops in general. I'll probably do a main channel video on this, but this is more of an explorative live stream. Hey, what all do these things happen? What's the reason for Linux laptops? Why do I always use Linux laptops? All those things. I think it's kind of fun to just kind of show you. I always say, or used to say, distributions don't matter. I still believe that. And even though I'm no fan of Ubuntu, Kubuntu's fine. And we're going to take this and kind of make it our own. See what it looks like at the end of it. But I wanted to catch up with everybody and just go, hey, what all's been happening? I'm sorry I missed last week. I've been on vacation. And it's been wild. I got back from vacation. My AC has gone out here in Texas. That sucks because it was like 90 something degrees. So we got back late, slept in, but it wasn't 100-degree heat, but it was 90 degree heat, probably in the mid 30s Celsius for you Europeans out there. It was not a great sleep, good sleep back, but luckily got all that fixed, and we're back and rolling. Then got in the studio and realized, oh crap, some of my AC adapters, apparently there's some power surges, those fried. So a little bit late start today because I was sitting there swapping out AC adapters and fixing up all the crazy setup I have here, and then working on getting a mirroring situation working on the laptop so everyone can see what I'm doing as I kind of rip and tear things out and do different things. So it should be fun. Hey, Chris, I think mostly laptops are pointless because you can connect your basic laptop with remote desktop for a more beefy PC. Yeah, it just depends on what you're wanting to do. A lot of times when I'm remote or I'm using a laptop, things that come into mind is I'm on the go. And let's say I'm at like a convention, the Wi-Fi sucks in those places. Remoting in is not really an option. Plane travel, another big one. Airports really suck. Hotels can be hit and miss. Hotels have gotten a lot better in recent years, so you could probably remote in on those just fine. But yeah, I'm kind of hey, it doesn't really matter whether or not beefy or not, except for gameplay. There's some games I really do like to stream specifically from like my main production PC that has like a 4070 in it. That's nice. So that's kind of my thought process there. But yeah. Oh man, I tell you, it's good to be back though. Oh man, it is good to be back. Oh yeah, we're safe from the hurricane. Texas was actually, and it was in the path. We were actually going to get hit with part of it. I'm in Dallas, Fort Worth, so by the time a hurricane makes landfall and makes it all the way to us, it's just going to be like maybe some rain. But we got like a little bit of rain from the hurricane, which around this time of season, you don't get rain. So that was actually kind of nice. So it was actually beneficial for us. But I know people in Houston are without power and it really sucks down there. So if that's one of you guys, I'm praying for you. That sucks. I'll pull up the specs on the laptop here in a second. Huge fan of Dell Precision. Yeah, I mean, Dell can be hit and miss. It depends. The main thing I have, and Dell may not do this anymore. It's been a little bit since I've been in the residential laptop space, but Dell The one thing I really hate about Dell laptops is sometimes you'll get the same model number, and if you're working on two of the same model numbers, you'd expect all the components to be the same. Sometimes Dell switches that up, and it drives me batty. I'm like, why do you have the same model number with two different Wi-Fi cards? That makes no sense to me. You know, one will have one Wi-Fi card, one will have another. I'm like, just make a new model at that point if you have to switch out parts. Just a minor gripe with Dell. In some of the way they open up and repairabilities has, yeah, it's better than most, but it's still not great. So that's kind of my thought process. Everyone's like, oh, Kubuntu spin a little bit. Why? What in the world? But yeah, this is not a Dell. This is not a Dell. Hey, let me just pull up the stats so everybody's not confused here. Let's see. We're rocking Chrome on this guy. Oh lordy. All right, here we go. Let's see. Ooh, what do we have? I think this is let's go systems. Damn. So 1 second. I think this is the IR16 from Kfocus. Let's bring that down a little bit. Man, I am just like blown up here. What is my scaling at? I feel like something is off here. Yeah, we're gonna change all this. Oh, the transition. Oh gosh, we gotta. I'm gonna fix the transition effects too. Let's go. It's been a little bit. You're gonna have to bear with me here. Scaling's at 100. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Maybe it might be this guy. It's not enabled right now, so we just have this at 60. Huh. Well, let's keep an eye on that. Let's give it an update and see what we got. Tux, thanks for the tier 1. 2 months now. Hello. Oh man. I think you're on Wayland. Oh, I might be on Wayland. Let's see. Probably no, I think this is Xorg actually. Hey, Rux. How's it going, man? Oh, yeah, we also did a huge update to WinUtil. I won't do that every time, but yeah, it should be good. Yeah. Okay. Ah, lordy. All right. 1 second, guys. Brief break. I know I just started, but give me 1 minute. Gosh, all right. I'm back. Woo! Just start the stream and then I just leave. That's just such me. I'll probably be gone here in 5 more minutes. It has been hectic. It's a hectic stream. We're just gonna roll with it. We just got to get it done. The queen beckons. Oh yeah. Side quest time. All right. Technical difficulty. Sometimes, we're just gonna have to roll with it. All right. Oh yeah. We're gonna show that. What's the specs on this thing? The specs aren't really anything to write home about. I wasn't particularly impressed with the specs before getting the laptop. However, the laptop's been good because I was coming from a 10th gen, or no, 11th gen. No. I think my actual last laptop was a 12th gen Intel. Yeah, it was an i7 12th gen Intel. So this was actually going to an i5 13th gen. So the difference in speed, negligible, honestly, because what I picked up with the next generation coming from an i7 to i5, it feels about the same. And not huge, but I really liked the design of this a little bit better than my 12th gen laptop. So even though it was there, probably the big thing I liked about it was the built-in display with the 450 nits. That is unbelievably bright. I think my last laptop was a 300 or 400 nit, and believe it or not, 450 nit is, you put it up on bed, you'll blind yourself. It's kind of insane. And the built-in displays, I already did an entire, oh geez, do I even have that here? Let me see. I took a picture at my work because I went ahead and set it up there, and I think I had a little thumbnail or something I did. Let me flip through here and see if I can't show you guys. Ah, here we go. Let's open this guy. All right, yeah. So this was my work setup with this laptop. Here was the old laptop, here's the new one. And I was just trying to kind of go through and see what we got. So I went ahead and did a 3 monitor setup, random motions there, so that was good. And yeah, past that, I haven't had anything. The big thing I kind of wanted to look at today was like stealing some of these tools specifically from here, because there was some, like this right here, this Kubuntu tool is actually a bash script, which is really interesting because the bash script was doing the GUI and everything, which is kind of insane. That's kind of the crazy part here. So that's one thing I want to look at, is kind of stealing some of these tools and then like maybe adding them to like DWM Titus. Because you guys know immediately as I'm punching around in here what's going to happen. You know, right? We know what's going to happen. DWM. I have to have my speed. I have to have the speed of DWM, just like the tiling window manager. Once you go back, you just once you go to tiling, you're just never going to switch back. You're never going to go back to a desktop environment. I hate to ruin that for you. Once you get your tiling window manager set up, there's no going back. You'll get into Windows and Mac and just be like, ugh, peasants use this. That's what happens. That's what goes on. What I don't know is how well does my script work on some basic laptop like this. Now this laptop's about $1,000, so not a cheap laptop by any means, but there is no external GPU, and I know what everyone's gonna say right now. I already know you can get it out. Hey, I can get online and buy like Asus or a Dell for around this price point with a GPU. But the built-in Linux experience with Linux tools and the Linux laptops approach, there's a bunch of different brands out there. This is Kfocus. Then there's the Tuxedos of the world, which was my last laptop. And then you have System 76, which you see probably quite a bit. They ship out a bunch to YouTubers. I don't have a great relationship with those guys, so I've never actually had a System 76. I've gone back and forth with them, but they want like a... Yeah, I don't want to get too much in the back end weeds, but let's just say I only accept a direct thing with no legal, like, hey, you're never going to get a review from me when it comes to, hey, you get to look or get first look at things. And if you want me to review a laptop, you just have to give it to me and then hope for the best. I won't ever sign a legal document saying, hey, you get to look at things. So most people aren't cool with that. You know, I've had Kfocuses I've done in the past. I've done Tuxedo in the past. But let's just say the other brands that have approached me to get a laptop, I never sign over anything and I won't give any credit cards or anything. So that's kind of where I'm at and why I only do like a review every once or 2 years, because I have a very weird process that's not very brand friendly. And I just like to look at everything and break it down. And then I always look at what the stock is, and then in typical Titus fashion, I will break it. And you just got to be comfortable with me going in and going, hey, this is really cool. Here's the stock experience. And now I just completely remove everything and just load up my whole thing. And most people are not cool with that in the laptop review realm. But needless to say, that's what we're going to do today. Yeah, this is massive, isn't it? I would say there's like some scaling. Now, normally this is, I think the default display settings here on the built-in, you'll notice is 2560 by 1600 at 90 refresh rate. Now, to cast it onto the screen, what I've done is I've gotten this Elgato Camlink Pro PCI card, synced it in and put it to 1080 at 60 refresh as its only output. So that's what I'm doing here. That's why the scaling looks a little off, or it's a little big, because by stock defaults, they set up everything to have a good experience with the built-in display with this type of settings by default. I honestly like this. I think I'm actually okay with it, mainly because you guys can see everything plain as day. It just looks like I'm a grandpa, you know. So there's going to be some stuff that doesn't fit on the screen because of the downscaling that we're doing to 1080 for this stream. But, you know, we'll be fine. It looks like 800 by 600 scaling. That's true. So this is Kubuntu 2404. However, what version of Kubuntu does Kfocus ship with? Because most people have known I have not had a very appealing view of KDE Plasma 6. And you'll notice the Kfocus team ships with KDE 5 still today. So all your YouTubers out there are talking about KDE 6, which I don't really talk about KDE 6 because I had such a bad experience the 2 times I installed it, both on Arch and Debian, that I had flickering, I had a lot of capture issues, I had poor Wayland support. There was just a lot of issues with KDE 6 in many of the systems I've tried that I just refused to use it. So when they shipped it over to me, I was like, okay, that's cool. Thanks, guys. And that's kind of, oh geez, why's my Ethernet coming in and out? It's probably my crappy dock. Anyways, we'll keep an eye on it. Yeah, KDE 6 Plasma. I think 6.1's better, so I have to try it again. But as of right now, I haven't tried it at all. So we'll see. Oh man, okay. So we have this in, but is the wired connection going? Okay. Let's just disconnect that. We're just going to go wired only. All right, here we go. How old are you, Chris? 42. The meaning of life. Tell us about the WinUtil update. I demand it. Why is your Wi-Fi network disconnecting? Probably because it's switching between wired and wireless. I hadn't even looked at it. Fitness journey's going great. Doing it daily. I did a PR for Grace in CrossFit yesterday, which is 135 pounds on the dart barbell floor to overhead 30 times, and I did it in I think 7 minutes. It wasn't impressive by CrossFit standards, but I was just happy I was able to do it. But you guys aren't here for that. Let's get into it. Let's see what we got going. What are we gonna do first? So we kind of got this. Ooh, yeah. Oh yeah, we can look at the WinUtil. Sure, why not? The WinUtil update. Do a quick little thing. Let's see if we can knock it out in 2 minutes. I did this release. Let's go over the releases tab. It's yesterday I spent all day. One thing I've been doing on the channel, you might have noticed I haven't really made any main videos on the channel. We're gonna go to probably like 1 or 2 videos a month probably. And I'm just really focusing on oh God bless. Did that really happen? Did the internet, frickin' A. 1 second. 1 second here. All right. Okay, we got that. This is fine. Can we deactivate? Reactivate? Oh, lordy. This is so fitting. Oh, I broke it. I broke it. All right, let's see. Can I get this back? All right, there we go. We'll see how much I got that. I got this like $20 RCA dock that I'm using for this guy. Yeah, I should change the name. Chris Titus Breaks. All right, here we go. We fixed it for now. But let's get these updates, these pre-release. So I did this yesterday. We spent about 8 hours yesterday doing around 30 to 50 PRs. I don't remember the exact number, but refactored the UI code, launch issues. We got a download counter now, so you can see how many people download each release. We have PR templates, so when new pull requests come in, they have to follow a specific format, and then various bug fixes, whether it's telemetry in PowerShell 7. I know for you Linux users watching this now, you're going, PowerShell? Ew. Well, PowerShell 7 has telemetry built in, fun fact, and now the script will disable that. We also have Ultimate Performance Plan fix that was having an issue. Slight little tweak with MicroWin. We now have a dev branch, so if you want to test this out, instead of doing /win, you do a /win dev. We added Molvad VPN to applications. We got a new tweak to Adobe Network Block. So if you are using Adobe stuff and you don't want them phoning home, I got you covered. We also have a couple new application fixes, consumer fixes and features. We broke those out. The refactor of the UI was probably the biggest update by OG. Oh, geez. GPU whitelist. Yep. There's just endless update tweaks. So we did a ton in the past. What was the last one? From the 28th. So about 10 days worth of PRs. You can see every single PR we've done on this update in just 10 days. We've done more in 10 days than most AAA companies do in a year. That's the power of open source. Kind of insane how much this has been updated, and we have so much more to go. There's just so much. And just in the past, we already got 5 pull requests today. 5 PRs in the last less than 24 hours. So the amount of people contributing code and doing things on this is at a ridiculous level, and I love it. It is wild. Also, and we're about to move on. We're about to move on, but check this out. This kind of what do we got? PowerShell start rankings. This kind of blows my mind. If you look at the rankings here, these are the most starred PowerShell projects on GitHub. We have WSL at 16,932 stars, and we're pulling up the rear on WSL, about to surpass it with 16,259. So in 700 or so more stars, we will pass Windows Subsystem for Linux on GitHub, which is insane. The Windows 10 debloater has been actually archived. It was archived last year. You have Scoop, which is a package installer, and then you have PowerShell Core, the core PowerShell language that Microsoft has. I mean, it's not without the realm of possibility we pass up the original Microsoft PowerShell Core next year in stars and popularity. Absolutely bonkers. I mean, all from just a silly YouTube video when I was like, God, I need to make something. Let's just publish this script I made back in 5-6 years ago, and then just it slowly morphed into what it is today. Wild. Absolutely wild. So I'm not content with that, though. I also want to do WinUtil as well, which if you're unfamiliar, let's just go WinUtil. God bless. This is totally old man mode with this view on the screen here, but we're doing the ultimate Linux toolbox over here. So this is happening, and we're going to slowly build it out. It's just going to be a slow process. Every week, I'm going to dedicate at least 8 hours to it, and we're going to slowly build this out to be the one-stop shop for all things Linux that will fix up. So when you're like, hey, you know, when I open up my browser or my Explorer, whatever we're using, Dolphin, Thunar, whatever it is, and you're like, hey, when I go to my home, it's not properly doing collation between lowercase and uppercase are getting filed above lowercase. I'll have like little fixes in there, like a little folder of fixes, and then you just press that button, it'll run a script, and then just fix your collation and detect your OS and just do it automatically. Or you might go, hey, GTK and Qt themes aren't properly syncing on my tiling window manager. You just get in here, you press that one script, and then boom, it'll just fix it all. So we're going to make a bunch of different scripts to do little things like that just removes the annoying things about Linux. And that's going to be WinUtil. So now that everybody's up to date, we've done that. We've looked at some of this. This is one reason I kind of wanted to look at Kfocus, because they have some kind of really neat ideas here, but I kind of wanted to steal some of them because they have this all open source, as with most Linux projects, and there's some really neat tools, specifically their fan tool. If we look at this is, oh, really? Really? You're going to do this to me? You're just going to shut down. RIP. Right. It's just one of those weeks. It's one of those weeks, guys. Everybody has good weeks and bad weeks. It's one of those weeks for me, but that's okay. We just keep pushing forward. We'll be fine. I'll probably have to unplug it and plug it back in a billion times. But you know what? Wait a second. Wait a second. I got an idea. Let's just remove my janky dock. Let's try to plug this thing directly in. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. I bypassed my janky $20 dock I got off Amazon, and we're in business. It's not going to go off now. So anyways, this right here is a PowerShell script written by the Kfocus team. I want to steal it. It looks so cool. And you wouldn't think it, but it's a bash script. Oh my God, I got to get rid of these wobbly windows. It's so silly. Anyways, very neat. And I like the idea of it. let's go and, you know, let's go performance, man. Let's get this give it some juice. I wonder if this can be powered through USB. If it goes off in the middle of stream, my janky dock might not be able to power this thing. I might need to actually go get a power adapter. It'll be fine. It's not going to be a long stream. Do we have a power? Let's look at the power on this thing. Power. What do energy stats? What does that look like? What kind of energy stats we got here? Oh, it says the internal battery's at 100. All right. So we should be fine. All right. So what I want to do is look specifically at where these are on GitHub, because that's one thing I would like to take, and how they launch it is kind of interesting that it's launched through a web page. I don't necessarily like that it's launched through a web page, but the power I want to grab, and then this guy is the power, but there's also a fan control, which I thought, did I just do? Oh, no, the fan control is part of the power and fan. They also have like a kernel cleaner. And then I also want to look at this power profile utility too. Yeah, so the kernel cleaner is kind of cool. It'll purge old kernels, and then their configuration. You remember when we did the back in time segment? We went through and was like, hey, there's all these different times in backup pieces of software. And I'm always like, well, I kind of like time shift from basic, but they ship with back in time. But it's not like the stock back in time configuration. They put in a bunch of customizations to make back in time look awesome. So this is what they're doing, which I thought was kind of interesting. So another thing, and I like a lot of these customizations. So that's what I do with a lot of Linux stuff. I always encourage people, if you do distro hop, or you grab something that's like a custom Linux spin, it's really good to be looking at what you can take from that. There's a good point, like, where there's people that are really smart in Linux, and if they're making their own laptops and doing their own thing with customizations, you should pay attention to them. Whether that's Tuxedo with Tomate, Kubuntu, Kfocus with their own special spins of back in time, their Kfocus suite here, or if you go to System 76, we can all look at Pop! OS and the new versions coming out with like Cosmic Desktop. It's really interesting to see what these Linux laptop manufacturers are doing. So I guess I guess it's not like a secret or anything, but the only thing I've ever reviewed on my channel has been Linux laptop manufacturers. I've never actually taken like an Asus or any of those major laptop brands and reviewed them on my channel. Mainly because I'm not really that much of a review channel, and most of those have been done to death and done better than other YouTubers. And I'm just more focused on getting these laptops in and saying, what did they do to make these clean or do differently that I would do for my system setup? Because a lot of these have to be supported by them, meaning people call in, they need to remote in and fix things, much like you would do with like a Mac or Windows. They have to support everything. So that's what I really love about the Linux laptop side of things. Isn't necessarily the hardware. The hardware, honestly, it's good, it's stable, but it's not bleeding edge either. It's not like the latest and greatest, like, oh my gosh, this just came out, all the other major brands have just released theirs, and you'll notice the Linux laptop realm lags usually about 6 to 12 months behind most of the major brands. And the reason for that is they want to make sure they test all the drivers. They want to make sure you have a consistent, stable experience. And they want to build stuff like this, customizations with the software. So it's really interesting to see what they do with these things, and why I'm kind of like, hey, I love seeing this, not necessarily to buy the laptops. If you want to buy them and you want this all just done for you, great. But the things that I really love is looking at what they're doing, and then you can take some of these customizations from them and put it on your laptop. That's even the best part. So you can take the best of all worlds. Now, some of them are a little more proprietary than others. I want to say the Tomate, I'm butchering that. It's actually German, and I think it was actually from like A Kid's Tale or something was the backstory. I forgot. But that one's real specific because it's like a piece of, it hooks into like the firmware of the laptops themselves. But it's really neat what that does, that piece of software. Kfocus takes a little more of an open approach with theirs with GitHub. And I want to test this because last time I installed Back in Time on my main system, it didn't look like this. And it was kind of trash as the base configuration. But the way they've configured Back in Time, I like it better than Time Shift. So like just taking a snapshot, let's see what that looks like. It feels pretty darn good, and you should be able to look back on the snapshot. So I'm kind of curious to see what happens during this snapshot process. Does the X Elite work on Linux? I think I saw one person say it did, and they got it going. I don't think those are very impressive laptops out of the gate, though. From everything I'm hearing from a lot of the reviewers, it's an interesting concept, the X Elite ARM laptops, but the actual implementation of them, they're kind of slow, and they're not as impressive as they should be, and they're not as power efficient as they should be. There's a lot of downsides to them right now, so I wouldn't go out and buy one first gen. I'd probably let it cook or bake for a little bit, and then maybe here in a year, let's revisit them. But I'm glad they exist, and I'm glad they did come out. Linux support's been hit and miss on them, and some things work and some things don't work. But overall, I have seen, I think it was the IBM Yoga was the very first of those X Elite laptops, which is unfortunate because I hate the Yoga brand from IBM or Lenovo, I should say. I've just had very poor experiences with them. I've had at work, I bought 3 or 4 of them. And those 3 or 4 laptops died within 3 years, every single one of them. So the Yoga brand to me is trash, and I would never buy one. But that's just my personal experience. And you got to look at laptops. A lot of times people wanting that flip around one where you got it and you can flip the screen all the way around and use it like a tablet. What happens is a lot of times those hinges break. So if you're in the laptop realm of things and you're constantly flexing that, going back and forth, you know, you probably only get a couple years of experience with it before those hinges snap, and then you're left with a big paperweight. So be careful with that. That's my only critique on that. So I'm more of I'm more of an old man here. Just get me a regular old laptop that just opens up to the proper thing. It doesn't need to lay flat. It doesn't need to spin around. It just needs to be a laptop. And I like just the old school design. I think it's been proven that that's pretty good. So this one has actually never done a snapshot. So you're actually seeing the first snapshot in real time. Shouldn't take very long, actually. Interesting. I wonder where it's saving it. It's kind of interesting. Oh well, let's give it a whirl. PyCom, the PyCom build I'm using, Gabs, is just from, I think it was FT Labs. Why this is doing a snapshot. Let's pull up the DWM. I want to try DWM Titus on this too. Let's go DWM Titus. And did I put FT Labs in here? I bet it's in the setup script. Let's look at the setup script. So if we look at this, yeah, FT Labs, GitHub. Here, I'll link it in the chat. So if anybody wants to look at the PyCom config that I'm going to use, this is what I'm using right now. Oh, wait, I can't link that to chat because it don't work. 1 second, I'll just grab it and send it over to y'all. FT Labs PyCom. Yeah, here we go. Can I do it with 2 controllers? Look at that. I'm not completely worthless. So there you go. Thank you, Rux. Rux got it in YouTube. So that is a very cool project, though. Kind of how if you're familiar with Hyperland, a lot of people love Hyperland because of its animations. FT Labs basically redid PyCom so you can do that, which is great. Lead developer Snapdragon. Let's see what that's about. I need to get, do I have Chatterino in here? Oh, maybe I do. I kind of want to pull that, yeah, let's move them in bounds. No. Let's go Chris Titus Tech. Yes, there we go. There we go. So what do we have? Current state of affairs. Because someone mentioned the Snapdragons, I really kind of want to look at this article. Enabling this. So they had to patch the upstream kernel and do it in the user space on Snapdragon X1 Elite. The patches are basic. Console support along with a public branch to display GPU enable. Okay. Boot to console. Support already landed in kernel 6.7 and is on track to have the remaining kernel support land by the first commercial device. Okay. So it's pretty much there. And I think you just, honestly, if you're using Arch, you probably already have this. Since we're on like an Ubuntu spin, we can actually check to see where this is at on this spin. Like, let's say this was a Snapdragon. Let's take a peek. Oh, look at that. So there we go. So the back in time is done, by the way. So we can easily go back and then look at those versions of each file as of that. I'm kind of curious. Where is this on the folder? Back in time, backups. Interesting. This is kind of, let's go manage profiles. So it saves the snapshots to home back in time. Interesting. So let's look at the space of that. I'm going to try. We're going to take this guy. All right. Can we, let's go settings and we'll see here. I'm curious. Actually, let's go shortcuts. And what I'm going to look for here is KWin probably. I want to change some of these settings to just so when I'm in here, maximize. Let's add. Can we? Oh, no. Reset. Okay, let's go. KWin, maximize. Window, add a custom shortcut. Meta up. Yeah, let's apply that. All right, cool. So that should be good. And to close a window, meta Q. Okay, great. So then if we go meta up, perfect. You're using FT Labs PyCom with left WM. Works just as good as DWM. Good to hear. Yeah, that PyCom should work with pretty much anything. So even in like, if you wanted to grab it and use it in here, instead of the wobbly Windows effect, you could probably do that. I don't know on the compositor on KDE anymore, though. It'd be interesting to see. Yeah, every stream someone always brings up Discord. I've tried Discord server a couple different times. It's just hard to moderate a lot of people once you get over in the thousands. And typically there's people that do silly things and then the mods end up getting overwhelmed or just really just have a ton of work to do. And I don't have any financial capabilities to pay my mods or give them money. And I feel bad. And that makes me like, I don't really want to do Discord just because of that dynamic and having to deal with all of it. So that's why I don't really do Discord at all. If there is a Discord happening, you know, I definitely would be unofficial, not something that I would actually sign off on unless it was very specific to a certain thing. Like WinUtil might eventually get like its own Discord. I think somebody was actually starting one of those and I was like, that's cool, but it's not something that like I'm going to be actively involved in just because it's too much. Now I do have a Reddit that I do visit about maybe a couple times a week, and I'll go through the Reddit, pop in, just kind of clean things up and respond to people there. But it's very much a choice in productivity. Like if I had Discord, people would be pinging me all day, every day, and I wouldn't get anything done. So that's why I never am in Discord or I respond in Discord, because it's just a huge time sink and very unproductive. So I'm always trying to do stuff, and I found Discord to be not helpful. So that's why I don't do it. Archon, thanks for the tier 1. 5 months now. All right, man. Yeah, I noticed we had like a Terra was at 22 months or something. It was crazy. I had some people that have been subscribed almost 2 years now. Just wild. Oh, yeah. Real Moloxy. Yeah, you're the one that actually setting up the community Discord for WinUtil. Yeah, and that's the thing, like Reddit strikes a good balance of being a forum / kind of heavy moderation, and it doesn't require a ton of time to moderate, which is nice. So that's a little easier for me. All right, now we wanted to do the kernel here, uname SR. Actually, I think we can just do, oh yeah, we need to do SR. This is actually 6.8. So technically this, even Ubuntu spin would have, be okay with the Snapdragons out of the gate, because 6.7 was what was needed. So that's okay. Let's try something here. I kind of want to try out what happens when WinUtil. Let's try out WinUtil and run DWM setup from it. This is so gonna bomb. I don't think this will work at all. Like less than like a 5% chance. We could do a fast fetch. Let's go fast fetch. Sorry for I'm using a custom keyboard for this guy, so I don't have my normal. Oh, what happened here? Unable fast fetch, not. Oh, that's okay. I think I have it in the system setup already in WinUtil. Let's launch WinUtil. Let's do it. Here we go. True test. New system. I haven't tested it in Debian or any Ubuntu-based system. Oh, I didn't. Oh, I don't think I have that. Darn. Well, let's set up like. Does NeoVim work? Okay. First bug. Password. So, oops. All right. Is that gonna work? Still wants the password. Darn it. Okay. All right, let's try the one I was trying. So still some work to do there with WinUtil. Not working right now. That's all right. Let's go. Let's go over here. Let's try Linux setup. And we were working on this script the other day. Let's just go repositories. Yeah, I think we got like a compile setup here. Let's work on this. Oh, you know what? Let's just clone this. I feel like this will be fine. And we're just going to do basic setup here. CD Linux setup. Okay, so here's our compile. Let's try a compile. Compile setup just kind of installs the basic utilities needed for building and making programs from scratch. So I kind of like it, but also I think we could try the bash setup as well. I want to say that we'll grab fast fetch for a Debian. So we'll try both. I kind of want to see this as a test. No, we don't do UW, and TU. I like fast fetch a lot better. It written in C. C always has like a soft spot in my heart, man. I don't know what it is about that. I just really love it. Now, so the sudo command's not working in Kitty. That's interesting. How do I enter and make that interactive? We could try it with numlock, maybe. Let's see. Nah. No love. No love. Now, what if we do sudo? Yeah, it's not going to kill. It's not going to like that. Okay. Well, worth a shot. I'll work on that some more. Is sudo on the system at all? Oh, yeah. Sudo's on here. It's rare you see someone. There's a couple distros out there that swap sudo from doas, but typically if they do that, they always make an alias for sudo and just automatically translate it to doas. And if you don't have sudo, you could always just do a su and switch user. Run as root. So that did work too. Okay, so the system setup works pretty good. Let's grab fast fetch and run that. We've already kind of seen a sample run of WinUtil. Great in practice. From a test environment, still a lot of work to be doing. I think Thursday we're going to focus real heavily on modifying WinUtil to be a lot better, a little more, start working on getting like the basic setups. So I'm kind of taking a mental note, kind of a checklist of things that I want to fix in this version of the WinUtil from the Debian side of things, or Ubuntu side, depending on your spin, which, same difference. Let's go over to fast fetch. I believe they have like a Debian installer too, so we should be fine here. We'll just go grab the deb file and then just do an apt install of the deb. Let's just grab releases. If I'm running Debian these days, I really don't use apt install very much because I hate grabbing, like, even on Ubuntu with PPAs, it still seems like I prefer to just go directly to like the horse's mouth and just grab the file and just be like, yes, I want this file. And then, okay, that's downloaded. Come into here. Let's just come onto the downloads. And then I like to just go sudo apt install fast fetch, or fast fetch. Debian, then try that. So that didn't work because I'm an idiot and downloaded the ARM version. Where are you? Okay, let's grab the 64-bit version, shall we? Not the ARM version. Let's go fast fetch. Let's go AMD 64. It was like, oh, here we go. Here we go. Oops. Yeah, make sure you're grabbing AMD 64 if you're not on an ARM-based system, which you're probably not if you're in Linux. Yeah, as soon as I saw the error, I was like, oh, yeah. I think a lot of like the terminal, when it comes to Linux, just in general, reading is your friend. I just want to say that. I think a lot of times in the modern world, we just expect you to press a button and it just work. Now, you usually press a button in Linux and usually it just works. But if it doesn't and it spits out text to you, you do need to read the text. Now, I don't say that to bash anybody out there. I'm just saying it because I'm personally guilty of not reading the text and just being like, enter, do as I say. Comes up every stream, and usually chat calls me out on it. So I appreciate you out there, those sharp people that actually read that text. It's always a skill issue. Everything in Linux is a skill issue. If you can't do something in Linux, it's a skill issue. It's just the way of Linux. It really is. There's just such a massive skill gap when you first start. I think that's how we all start off. We all start off not reading the console. And then after you have a bad experience, you're going, you know what? Next time I think I'm going to pay a little more attention. And I think everyone does that, you know, or they do like a sudo rm rf asterisk. Yeah, they do this command, and that's a fun learning experience too. So a fun one. Now, most people screw it up and they do this. That actually doesn't work. So you actually need to do the asterisk. That actually does that makes it go. That makes it pretty. So anyways, let's not do that command though. Let's do a fast fetch. Oh, wow. All right. Can we minimize this? Let's go control shift. Yes. There we go. So this is what we're rocking on this guy. Oh man, look at that package count. 3,000. Holy packages, Batman. That is impressive. We're using Bash, KDE 5.27. We are on X11. We are Plastique window theme. Breeze dark, kind of my jam. Font, Noto Sans, not my favorite. Honestly, I really like Meslo LG Nerd font. So I'd probably change that. We are using the Breeze Snow cursor, which actually I do like. I think I might actually switch to that. Kitty, that's something I just personally enjoy as a terminal, but pick your poison. I mean, WizTerm, ST if you want more minimalist. You can even go like Alacrity if you're down that road. Memory, 4 gigs. We got, this is the problem there. Old Chrome loves its memory. Disk wise, we are taking up 85 gigs out of about a terabyte. Local IP, battery's 100% with AC connected. Look at that. A piece of crap $20 Amazon dock is actually charging it through USB. I'm kind of impressed. Not gonna lie. USB charging sometimes is a bit dicey on laptops, but didn't really think that would work. But here we are. All right, great. Oh, X11's the best. It's the best. What are you talking about? X11 is amazing. All right, let's install some DWM Titus, shall we? Let's go git clone. And what we're gonna do, actually, I don't think we need to clone this. Nah, we gotta clone it. Yeah, let's just go github.com. Oop, we gotta add the HTTP. Let's go here. Man, I'm just having a day. That's okay. Just keep pushing forward. That's what you got to do. Just keep moving forward, like Meet the Robinsons. And here we go. If you have kids, you get the reference. If you don't, well, that's okay. Here we go. Let's try sudo setup, and we're going to set up DWM. So even if you, like, let's say you're starting out and you want to dip your toe into some tiling windows, right? You don't need, like, a tiling window manager is literally 100 kilobyte binary. You don't really need to uninstall all your stuff. Like what we're going to try and do here, we'll see how well this works. We're going to try and log out and then log into DWM after the installation is installed. Now, I've never tested this installer on Debian-based distribution, whether that's Ubuntu, Kubuntu, Pop! OS, whatever. So this is all written blindly. So I do anticipate some bugs and failures here, but we shall see. Yeah, so this is a good way, but you should be able to flip back and forth. So if you ever do want to test out DWM Titus, if I coded everything correctly, this should pretty much install, and then we'll just do a sudo make install of it. And once that's in, we should just do a log out, and then we should be able to log in and see my DWM like you normally would see. That's the idea, at least. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. For sure. Oh, Dory reference. I love it. How do you like Kubuntu? Any other flavor you prefer? Kubuntu's okay. Like, if you're a big KDE fan, I could totally see that that being good for you. So it just depends. It depends on you. Oh, I think we were missing something there during the build process. Let's see if this works. What were we missing? libev. Ah, we might be missing a dependency here. Let's see if this fails. But Kubuntu's good. I think for a beginner, it's not bad. But I mean, from KDE standpoint, like if you're doing a fresh install, I still like a plain Jane Debian install with KDE slapped on top of it. I'm a bit old fashioned in that regard. But if you're like a no nonsense, hey, I don't really want to install anything and just out of the gate, I want KDE, Kubuntu's not terrible. Why is your taskbar and font so big? So you can read everything I have them doing. I do it for you. That, and at the very beginning of the stream, this is an actual laptop and I need to mirror it. And the laptop is actually designed for a 2600 by, I think, 1440 at 90 Hertz. And I needed to scale everything to like 1080. So it kind of blew everything up. Oh, well, makes it easier to read. It did look like it installed successfully. Wow, it's kind of wild. All right, cool. Let's just do a sudo make clean install. Ah, see, we're missing XFT. Let's go search libxft. I bet you it's not there. Are we missing? I thought this would grab all the dependencies. Yeah. libxft-dev. We might need to do a modification live here. Kind of curious on this. Derek with Jippity. I like Jippity. Old Jippity can be a time saver at times, but don't let it take control and write everything for you. Bad things every time. But fixing some syntax errors is fine. All right. I feel like this is going to also air out on, yeah, that's what I kind of figured. We were missing imlib2. Interesting. So imlib2, what the hell is imlib2? I don't think I've ever seen that as a dependency on DWM. If I was a betting man, which I am, I bet it's this libim2dev. I bet there's some transition I did special that caused that. So far we've gotten libxft-dev, and then we also needed libim dev as well. Don't let me off the hook here, chat. Make sure I get this coded in so the next person doesn't run into this problem. That's a big thing. Yeah, libxev. I bet you we're also missing Zimetry or something. Oh, we should install Nala. That's a good point, Sal. I agree. Nala's still, it's way better than apt. I like the Nala wrapper on top of app. It makes it look so pretty. All right, let's see what else we are missing here on our Yeah, we're over 3,000 packages. We just installed everything. Yeah, Xenorama. I knew that was gonna happen. Lib Xenorama dev. So used to my other keyboard. All right, so we got Xenorama XFT and IM. What's the other one? Ah, we'll look it up after we're done. Just a couple libraries. I forgot to toss in the setup script. Ah, such an idiot. God. XCP. All right, fine. Can't remember what the package is for XCB. That should be the last one, though. I think it's just libxcb.dev. Yeah. Oh, no. Is it? No, I think it's libxcb1-dev. Yeah. No. All right. Let's do that. So it's libxcb1-dev. That should take care of that other dependency missing. Yeah, so many. So now, no, that was not what I need. I think it was res, actually. Was it? Was there a res header? No, it should be like an XCB res 0-dev. I feel like that wouldn't be it, but let's install it. What's another package? I mean, we're already over 3,000. We should just do a sudo apt install star. Yeah, that's good. All right, here we go. Hey, here we go. Are you gonna leave the stream up so people can watch? Yeah, I'll edit it and then I'll do it after. Should be fine. So we got that. Now DWM should be pretty much installed. Although, before we log out, the one more thing we gotta check is simply, is it in X sessions? USR, what, share, I think it's like X sessions, right? X sessions, where are you at? X sessions. I think I'm missing this one. No, it's X sessions. So DWM desktop is there. So let's do a cat USR share X sessions DWM. I forgot I did the bat deal. Let's install bat package as well. Yes. Are your mounts okay? Oh, I don't think I'm doing any mounts on this one because this is a mobile machine, so I take it to work, I take it traveling. It goes everywhere with me. Let's also grab Nala too. Why not? What couldn't hurt. Yeah, I mean, when you have so many, what's one more? I mean, just toss it in there. I mean, the fact we came under 3,000 packages, it's already so many. I kind of would prefer to have over 3,000 just so I can say I have over 3,000 packages installed. I mean, we have 1 terabyte. I mean, we're still so it's still so much less than Windows, so who cares? It's fine. I know it's bloated, but hey, it's no Mac or Windows still. Even with all these packages, we need over 10,000, and even then, I don't know. All right, so let's go here. We have that. Well, we may end up running Debian Titus if we go that route, Sal. I'm not sure yet. We might end up there. Right now, I just kind of want to take the stock experience and then just install some of my packages and then see what happens. So let's look at our cat of DWM. Now, DWM's just getting launched this way. That looks good to me. So I think what we can do now, let's just do a sudo apt. You know what? Rookie mistake here. But the first thing you should do when you first open up a laptop is a sudo apt update, or any distro, really. Heck, any operating system. Do an update and then an upgrade. I'm a little bit late to the party here. Oh, I must have already done this, because there's only 11 packages to be upgraded, so let's get that going. James Bond, thanks for the Prime. Yeah, I think my base studio install is less than 1,000 packages because I don't even do a desktop environment over there. Yeah, let's see what we have. I should have probably looked to see what's getting installed here. Well, it's fine. Some Kfocus specific packages got installed. All right. That's the other thing that most Linux laptop manufacturers do. You'll notice that they have custom kernels and custom packages in all their systems because they like to kind of tie everything down and vet all the packages that get installed. So even if you'll never see them run Arch probably, Or if they do, it's like an immutable version so they can version control the kernel, because a lot of these laptops will have specific like firmware blobs and stuff in them, and they want to make sure it gets tied down to that version. So you won't see them constantly doing that, or you won't see them constantly updating, because they like to vet everything. Specifically, like you can see that as this is KDE Plasma 5.27, and they still haven't upgraded to 6 because they're still wanting to vet it. I bet they're going through the motions and going, we're still seeing a couple bugs here or there, and they'll wait for everything to get smoothed out before pushing up that update. So that's another little cool feature about Linux laptops. Bet, thanks for the Prime, man. And Ace for the tier 1, man. Yeah, and 6 is getting better. Like 6.1, I've heard a lot of good things about. 6.0 was just a train wreck for me. So that's kind of how I am. All right, now I think it's time to log out, see what our DWM Titus looks like. Does it work? What do we think? What do we think? Oh, my keyboard battery, or my mouse battery is low. All right, here we go. Here we go. Is it this simple? Well, it's about to be a lot more simple, because I do need to fix that, those package dependencies. So I'm going to write those down. Should I have, since the display is done through, oh, you know, everybody complaining about it being so big. I don't hear you complaining now. Yeah. My money is saying that's DWM. All right. All right. Let's see. Oh. Mattia, thank you. Okay. What's this look like? Oh, no. All right. All right. Well, that's a few resolutions to choose from. Well, that's good. Let's put that down. Let's just go resolution. Well, actually, I don't know. Maybe we leave this over here for now. 1 second. Let's just resize. Hold on to your butts. Let's see. Doing this live on stream, probably not wreck. Oh, there we go. All right, now we can see. All right, orientation. Let's go primary. Yeah, and let's just knock that offline. And kablam! Nice. All right, let's save this out. We're gonna call this single. Let's just call this HDMI only. HDMI only. All right, perfect. Woo! Hype train's taking off. Thank you, OM1, for the Prime. So now we can go X-ray and DAR. Beautiful. Although we are at like 120 on the refresh rate. I didn't think my capture card could grab 120 refresh. All right, but I allow it. So now, cursors, we got some Linux problems here. That's okay. You will know where my cursor is at all times. You know, not the first time someone said my cursor's too big. All right. Let's go. Let's go. All right, let's come over here. Let's launch Chrome. All right. Here we go. And what we're going to do... Okay. That does not feel that good. I mean, it's okay. I think it's just an animation issue. Is PyCom running? I feel like there's a missing piece here. No, PyCom's going. I think there's some packages still going in the background, though. BTOP it. Oh my God, this keyboard, it sounds awful. I apologize ahead of time. I like my silent keyboard. Normally I'm rocking on the stream, but when in Rome. Why no Thorium? I didn't feel like installing it on the laptop. So I was just like, screw it. Let's just roll with it. Yeah, we got to get that mess low. We got to get our fonts loaded. But first, I kind of want to look what's rolling. I'm kind of curious to see what this looks like. What's happening? So if we look, I don't really see anything crazy here. There's a lot of K workers going off right now. So I'm kind of curious to see what would happen if I reprogram the auto login. Maybe go auto login to DWM instead. Let's fix the icons. That needs to be done ASAP. So the best way to do this is go into your .local, share, and then you'll notice a fonts folder. Or in my case, there is no fonts folder. So let's go make directory fonts. And then from the fonts folder, what I want to do from here is Thunar it. Oh, we don't have Thunar. Dolphin it. Let's go Dolphin. Now the dot should open Dolphin directly in... Oh, that looks ugly. We'll have to fix that. All right, so we got our fonts folder, but let's... Oh, good night, man. Can we figure this a little better? We'll have to look at like a W roots or something and fix our theming, because... Let's go into my drive. So what I like to do is... I'm still using GIMP, by the way. I apologize ahead of time. But what I like to do is I copy all my TrueType fonts, Open fonts, Windows fonts, YouTube fonts. I mean, just everything, right? And I toss it all into .local share fonts. I know. I will fix the look of it. So what that does, this is the XDG standard spot. So if you're going to do fonts, putting it in .local share fonts is what you typically want to do. So with this done, let's quit out because that is so gross. And now we're going to go FC cache. Font cache is what this is. Verbose and force. And what this does is it should find my .local share fonts folder, and then from there, grab and cache the Meslo font. Now, if we did this properly, when we do a list and grep Meslo, you should see Meslo. Meslo? Yeah, there's Meslo. So now we got Meslo LGS and all the fonts. Perfect. So good. Oh, look at this. We got a new emote. I don't even know what that emote is, but we got it now. Look at that. Seems kind of like a crazy emote to me, but hey, all right. Choo-choo. Yeah, this was good. So now I think if we just quit and relaunch, we should be good. And then all this, I'm kind of curious to see what happens with this. Let's go, I think, Control Shift Q, Meta Shift Q, I should say. Now this should kick us back to, is it right over here only? Okay, it shows over here. Okay, it does kick it right here. All right, now we're back. The fonts are still screwed up. Yeah. Now we did make that script though. So if we go screen layout and we just run HDMI only, that should fix everything. Yeah, but you'll notice our fonts are still jacked. Probably gonna have to do a reboot here. Before we do that, let's look at SDDM a little closer, because I'm kind of curious. What is in here? Oh, that's just an X session. Okay. Let's sddm.conf d. What do we got? Vim default. Oh, that's right. I did grab our NeoVim. Nice. So that setup script did kind of work. A little bit, actually. Current theme, Kubuntu. All right. So if we cat KDE settings, theme Kfocus. If we cat Kubuntu settings, theme background. So that's just setting the background image, which is not terrible. So I think we can just go to the default conf, and what we can do here is specify a few things. Let's just launch Chrome, maybe. Yes, there it goes. Let's go sddm.conf, example. We'll go to the ArchWiki. ArchWiki is the best. Flashbang, sorry, you've been warned. And what we're gonna grab here is just a few things. General setting, we're not going to use anything. Theme. All right, fine. I already can hear it. All right, here we go. So we got our theme that we could set. We have the X11 session we could set, which we might actually do because we could just do a display script setting. User, okay, auto login. I think we're going to grab the auto login and just set the user in session. So let's do that. So what this looks like, sudo vim, actually just go sudo bang. All right, here we go. So let's paste auto login. User equals Titus. What was the other? So you got user and then session equals DW. And I think that works as long as you're in the auto login group. So we don't have that. So if we go group add auto login and then sudo user mod ag auto login Titus. So that should be fine for auto login. I feel like there's, oh yeah. The resolution's all screwed up still. So let's fix that. Oh, let's see, what else do we need? Yeah. How do we want to do it? What would you guys like to see? Now, you guys already saw the arandar setup script. So if you're unfamiliar, if you go into screen layouts, you have the HDMI only that you can do. But you could do that in like an Xinit, you could do it in an auto start script, or you know what? Let's do it a fun way. Something that people don't normally do. So this is what we're setting it up as, right? This is fine. You can run this script in a multitude of different ways, but I find what is the cleanest way to do is to come into here. Let's go into Xorg and code it directly in. We're going to go sudo vim 10. Oh, if we do it this way though, what happens when the HDMI is not there? That's a, oh, I don't want to do it this way. Yeah, never mind. For the stream, I'm just thinking out loud. I was like, oh, wait a second. When I'm not streaming and I'm not wanting 1080p, I don't want this hard-coded into my Xorg. But you could make a .comp file and then hard-code all this in with an X11 comp file. But I was thinking that this is a desktop computer that never leaves this room. In fact, it's just a laptop. So that would be very bad if I did that. But kind of cool. Anyways, let's reboot. Thanks ZZ for the bits. You're welcome. I love working on all the utilities. Like that's the big thing I'm going to do for the New Year's. Actually, it's like 7 months into the year, so I can't say the New Year's. But starting this month, really, I am really just dedicating a ton more time to programming both Linux and Windows utilities. It's just going to be my main primary focus going forward. I just absolutely adore it. And I love doing these streams. I love kind of just the ability to tinker around on a lot of new stuff and just make stuff for folks to where it just auto sets things up. It's really, really awesome. Oh, man. Yeah, and then MacUtil after that. Well, that's like a year or two off, King Root. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Lord knows Mac needs some help too. Ugh. Ugh. Animations alone. Window management. Yikes. There's a lot of like weird optimization. Do they still have that stupid like genie animation when you minimize and maximize stuff on Mac? Is that still a thing? Because that's just stupid. I'm just saying what everybody... They do. They do. Okay. Well, not judging, but it's 2024, guys. I think we can do better. That's all I'm saying. Do you have any power saving scripts in there? EW, we talked a little bit about this at the, what was it? The start of the stream. I kind of showed that one power management script. Oh, it was this one right here, actually. Look at that. It heard you and decided to launch. This script is one that I thought was really cool. This is a bash script. I know it's a GUI window, but it's a bash script. Let's find where this is because it is neat and I kind of want to mess around with it. So if we look, here's power and fan, edit application. So user share applications, Kfocus power. Let's take a peek because I'm kind of curious at this. It did not auto log in, by the way, to it discarded my default comp there. I think there's actually an auto login system settings too. Oh, where is that auto login? Auto login. Come on. All right, maybe auto start. No, login screen. There it is. There's the login screen. Now we go behavior, Titus, plasma. You just do it through the GUI. I was overthinking it. It happens. Overthinking it. I could just set it right here and then it would have been fine. So anyways, next boot, it'll log right in. Yeah, the GUI was way better than pulling up the Arch Wiki. God bless. Sometimes the new way is the better way. And in this instance, the GUI was way better than doing what I just did. That took me all of 5 seconds. All right, I was showing you the user share applications. Now, this is interesting. Let's just do an ls of these Kfocus applications. ls Kfocus. And I just want to display these guys. So I'm really interested in Kfocus Power. I think everyone would love this app. So if we look at the desktop file, this is actually in this directory. Let's just yank this. Let's come on over here. All right, so this is where all the meat and potatoes are. Let's look at that Kfocus Power. All right, well, that's a binary. Wait, what? Kfocus Power bin. It's not a bash script anymore. At one time, I want to say the last time I looked at it, it was a bash script, but that is totally a binary. Yeah. And then power set. So is it compiled? I wonder how they're compiling it. Ooh, what's this one? Okay, this is a bash script. So this is the one I think I was messing with last time. So let's run this bash script. Let's just go Kfocus power set. Okay. Argument flag. Is there help? Okay. Help not supported. High normal studio. So this actually sets it according to here. So this actually, I don't think it does launch the bin file. Let's look more. Let's just do it in Kate. So we can just kind of adjust it on the fly instead of NeoVim. I know, blasphemy, but here we are. Let's look at the power set. All right, so we got that. Let's pull this up. And what I'm looking for, let's just take a peek at this. So it's made copyright Mindshare, written for Kfocus by Mike and Eric. Bin bash, so it's a bash file, run as root utility set power profile, GPL version 2. All right, you have an options table, a function, but let's see what each one does. If we can't pick this apart, it's kind of crazy. So we got a couple functions, no turbo fan, keyboard enable function, scan function. All right, kind of want to say we could refactor this into some switch statements. Look at these nested if statements. It's a lot of nested ifs. Then we got our CPU fan. I'm just kind of curious to see how they're doing their power performance, because I do like it. It is very, very quiet, and I do like the little pop-up window, which we could probably design something around this. I would probably want to refactor it, make it a little more readable. Read mode function, okay. And we're coming to the end, but I do not see it launching the binary anywhere in here. Let's see. CPU drop file, run KP. Okay. CPU freak set, CPU freak info. It's interesting. The only thing I see is this one right here is kind of interesting. This Kfocus CPU init. Wonder what that's doing. Now, CPU frequency set and CPU frequency you can run on your systems. This is something that's special to this laptop, which I'm kind of interested in. Let's take a peek. What is that? Cat run. Okay, it's an empty file. So that's actually just made specifically during the run. So that's not anything. It's super interesting. I just want to take this into a different laptop and see what all it does, and see if it actually applies the states. Because when we do something like CPU frequency, let's just do CPU frequency info. Let's see what the raw, because I want to say what it's doing is running these commands, assigning it, and then just parsing it out, and then going, hey, let's go ahead and change it because of this being run. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. You can see right now it's looking at the P state, and it should be either power save or performance. Here's the available. It's currently in, should say here, the governor. Yeah, it's in power save. And so let's run this again, and let's change. I think it was high, normal. Let's put it on high. High. Oh, actually, case sensitive. can't set. So let's run that as sudo. So then it forces all the governors. Now let's look at what it did with info. You can see the governor set to performance now instead of power save. Ooh, you know what? This just got like way snappier. Dolphin's still launching a little slow though. I mean, it's not like, let's say Chrome's really the test at Mammoth. Meh. All right, let's reboot again. I want to see what our DWM looks like now. So I'm going to just do a restart and we're going to log back in. Yeah, and I you know, as far as the slowness, I'm thinking it's probably an optimization or something I've done on my part. Can it automatically be set on your battery level? I think so. Yeah, I think it will automatically, what happens, specifically Plasma or KDE sets it up to where when you unplug it, it will run commands, specifically this laptop's designed to, when you unplug it, it will put it in power save mode. So it's not going to stay on performance when you unplug it from the wall, so it'll get better battery life. So I have seen that, and I've been tinkering around with that as well. Did you see my last comment? Let's see. Chris, you have a good name. What was your last comment? How long ago was that? I don't think I did see it. Wait. Is this the year of the Linux laptop? Oh, ooh, no. Don't get me wrong. I love Linux laptops. And frankly, that's the only laptop I get these days because I really love the ability to make sure everything always works. And any Linux laptop out there that you buy from any of the manufacturers, really any of the major Linux ones, System 76, I think there's Star Labs. I haven't actually tested any of those or System 76, but I have done Tuxedo and I have done Kfocus. And I've been able to load up Arch. I've been able to load up everything on all of them. It doesn't even matter. And I'm able to get full compatibility, which is nice. So I do love that. All right, so now we've got our janky 4K resolution because I'm capturing this through a 4K card. I really should get a Magewell 1080 that just locks this, and I never will run into this problem again by defaults, but whatever. It's not that big a deal. How many times am I going to screencast on through a laptop? Not very many. On this specific studio setup. All right. So we still don't have our icons up here. Interesting. We still get a little bit of the sluggishness too on here. It did log into DWM by defaults though. So the auto login did work. I'm kind of curious on that. You shouldn't use your real name on the internet. I'm always getting on my kids. I'm like, make sure you're not giving out your real name on the internet. Although that's kind of like the pot calling the kettle black. Be like, Dad, you give out your name on the internet. I'm like, yeah, that's different though. Do as I say, not as I do. PyCom is working. I think. I guess the surefire way to test if it's working. God bless. Why is that so slow? Yeah, it's working. You can see the animations. Must be something with how I'm casting this. There's something funky with that because I don't have that problem when I'm not doing a screen capture. So I think a lot of this lag and stuff is just from the HDMI out. But why? Anywho, yeah, I do also want to find out what's up with my icons too. Let's look at config.h. And if we look, Meslo nerd font and then Noto color emoji. So probably the easiest way to fix this, let's do an FC list and then just grep Meslo and see what the readout is. So if you ever do run into this on a tiling window manager, this is for you. So let's go FC list, grep Meslo, and we have these. Now I would like a Meslo mono font. I don't see that though. All I see is Meslo LGS nerd font. If you look, nerd font mono. So this isn't installed on my system. Oh, I guess my font folder didn't have it. Yeah, let's check your CPU. I bet it reset. I bet it's on power save. Let's switch the CPU performance. Let's see. What do we have? Do we have CPU Freak? Yeah. It's on power save at 400 hertz. So why they do this, specifically most Linux manufacturers like downclock and put things in power save, so you never really run out of power. But go sudo, let's set this to high. Does it matter? Oh, sudo Kfocus. Oh, it doesn't actually show. You just have Kfocus power. Oh, well, we can just do it through there. So it's on normal. Let's go this with performance. Okay. Now, with it being DWM, I do not see a change there, but let's, did that change it? It did. So then do we have fluid pop-outs? I'm going to say no. Is that better? Feels better, maybe? Yeah, it was ever since my script. Oh, maybe I installed something that conflicts. Oh, you know what it could be too? Anyways, let's fix this first. Let's just take this guy and paste this. Oh, oops. I bet you it was the Intel graphics. Yeah. Let's see if Xorg Intel graphics is installed here. I mean, it's always Xorg, isn't it? Let's go apt list Xorg server. Oh, I should have done installed. Apt list installed grep Xorg. It's this guy. That thing's the biggest pile of poo ever to be installed on a system. I hate Xorg Video Intel. This might break something. We have backups. Probably gonna have to rewipe this thing so I can review this laptop properly. Oh well. It's all in the name of science. All right, we're purging this Intel driver. Okay. What else do we have in here? Is there anything else I want to dump from Xorg? Yeah, I think that's fine. All right. So now that Intel's flushed, we got to reboot so it'll do it. But first, let's fix those icons because that's what I mainly wanted to do. And then let's see if it still has it. I want to say that CPU speed also is at 400. So let's do that FC list again. Grep Meslo. And we're just going to grab Meslo fonts regular. Come back over to here. Get that. Paste it in. Save. Sudo make clean install. And then we'll reboot, reinitializing Xorg and all that. And without the Intel. Now, two things are going to happen here. It's going to work great. Oh, we could do a flush. But yeah, we'd have to relaunch DWM anyways. I'm just going to reboot. That's the Windows user in me talking. But flushing those Intel drivers from Xorg sometimes breaks things. But we don't know until we try. Let's do it. You sure it isn't going to explode? Probably will. I haven't been having the best week. So anytime I make a change, I'm kind of like, yeah, when you're not having a good roll, usually when you do stuff like this, it's just more pain. But it never stops me from doing it. I'm like, well, let's get it. A lot of times with these streams, it's just like more of a exploration. Like, hey, what can we break? What happens when I do this? And less of a coherent YouTube video where I'm like, look at me, I'm so smart, I can do all this in 10 minutes. Where the streams is like, hey, watch me break something in half over and over and over for 3 hours and then in the stream with it completely broken. And then off stream, I spend another 5 hours fixing it. And then I make a 10-minute YouTube video going, look how smart I am. Here's the working product. That's my content creation cycle. Giving you my secrets. But here, we just like to watch the world burn. How's the weather here? It was actually beautiful yesterday. It was like 80 something Fahrenheit, you know, upper 20s. It was beautiful yesterday. And then today happened. We're back in like the 90s, hundreds again. So it's like, all right, well, it's fun while it lasted. All right, here we go. WinUtil is not on the horizon. It is here. It is here. We're making it happen. Oh, yeah. Let's go HDMI. Yeah. So now we've relaunched. We still haven't fixed the damn fonts. Did I do a clean make install? Yeah, I did. Okay. Well, the fonts didn't show up. Hey, but we do have, it still seems slow. Huh. So that is still not the where I want it to be. What about, let's try Kfocus power again. Kfocus power. Now, when we set this to high, now what we can do, set the fan profile in the BIOS itself. Let's just set this here. Still feel like this is not running at full speed though. And then just as a sample with yeah, no, still slow. Could it be maybe the power from my USB isn't no, then the battery would be draining. Interesting. I think it is not fixed. I agree with that. Huh. Although the battery is 99, I think it's a power supply issue. I think I'm just not giving it enough juice. Freak info. See, everything's set to performance, and the hardware limits are from 400 to 3.5. And then you got turbo, I think, at like 4.3. So I think it's that. Like looking at it, because like when I'm quitting programs, it's fine. And I can flip around the different desktops just fine quickly. But when I go to launch a program, there's a noticeable delay. And I think that's something in my side. And I kind of want to switch that out. I want to go grab a power supply. Unplug it? Yeah, what happens if I unplug it? Let's try that. Oh, that's where my keyboard's plugged in though. Here, I'll just, instead of unplugging that, here, I'll unplug the power. Here we go. Okay, so now you can see it's discharging. It's still on performance. That's it. Weird. Look at that. What in the world? Okay. Oh man, how strange. So when I was powering it through, admittedly, a terrible, crappy $20 dock using a USB charger that I used for my Steam Deck, it didn't give it enough juice. So what it did, instead of just discharging or just not charging at all, it just said, hey, you only have this much power to use, and it didn't use more than that. That's kind of wild and kind of cool. I mean, I kind of like it. But it did show the current CPU is at 400 megahertz, which makes sense because that's a Steam Deck charger. You might be asking, Titus, why are you using a Steam Deck charger on your brand new laptop that's over $1,000? Science is the answer. Science. Science is exactly what I'm doing. Using this dock. But anyways, that works great. So yeah. That is cool. I dig it though. The fact I could keep charging it, and then I put it in like a high performance mode, and it's on battery power now, discharging, and it's just launching everything so darn quick now. Oh, so cool. And I just can pull it right back up instantly. Okay, that's cool. That's so neat that the laptop is like, you only have this much power. I'm only going to give you a little bit. But you're going to have, it's going to charge up. It's going to get you to 100% because the battery, I think, was at like 20% when I started, because I kind of ran it dead almost in bed last night. Oh, let's install those Meslo fonts too. Yeah, I agree. Let's do that. Let's go nerd fonts. That's so cool though. I dig it. Let's go. Do we want to switch the font? Nah, Meslo is still my favorite. Although JetBrains, nah. We need Meslo. We need Meslo. What am I doing? No. Meslo's king. Can't dethrone Meslo. Let's go. Backpack. Dots. Local. Share. Fonts. Backpack. Local. You might be thinking, Titus, why not just open up the Dolphin and do this? I don't know. Because I'm crazy. I think we've established that from this stream alone. All right, yeah, that's a few Meslo fonts. Ah, man. Yeah, let's do that. And let's come back into DWM. Let's go git stash, git pull, git fetch. All right, then let's just do a sudo make clean install. We're reverting everything because I want to see if it grabs the correct one. So now, it's kind of wild it's as fast as it is on battery. Still don't hear it. It's not kicking up or anything, so good. Ooh, and Noto emoji. I agree with that. So let's try those two things. All right. And let's go screen. We'll do my janky capture card script thing. All right, perfect. So there's everything right at 4 o'clock. It's fixed. Got that. Everything works. Everything's fast. We got DWM going on this brand new laptop. We have a little over 3,000 wonderful packages installed, and we can still quit out, go right back to Kubuntu if things went completely south here. I just kind of wanted to mess around a little bit. Also, I kind of am curious to see how this is done. I want to dive more into this, and I think I'll probably do it offline before I make a video about this laptop, because I really am interested in their power management system. So when we look at CPU Freak info, it's really interesting how this is set. And I'm even more curious of this binary file right here, because I kind of want to take this into other portable systems I have, and being able to set all this up directly through like power and fan. I think this is really neat. Anybody using Linux on a laptop, I think this would be just such a great little tool and something I really enjoy. Probably one of the best power management tools I've seen yet. Functional scaling is kind of crap in X11. Let's not kid ourselves. You got to go to Wayland for that. Which we could do Wayland on here. I just can't use my DWM in Wayland. It's Xorg only. So that's why I do what I do. Oh, it's crap on Wayland. Well, it ain't any better on Xorg. Scaling in Linux is always a bit of a crapshoot. I mean, KDE and GNOME do a decent job, but Windows and Mac do it better in that regard. When it comes to scaling in like 4K resolutions, Linux is still got a ways to go. Kubuntu snaps. You feeling all right, Chris? Yeah, so the thing that I'm doing here with this specific system is basically, yeah, all those things are installed, but none of them are running right now. And I think if we look at the processes, how many processes are running right this second? Do we have a count? HTOP. What is our count for running tasks? So right now we're running 56 tasks. This is a 16-core system as well. Memory-wise, we're sucking down 620 megs. And we do have snapd running. Let's look at the snap. What is... I never even looked at this. Dang it, I'm running out of time. Running out of time. Never enough time. But okay, so I did see snapd. We could make that a little bit less. Let's go snap list. What do we have? Firmware updater. GNOME 42, common themes. You guys see nothing? Don't tell them I did this. Probably gonna break something. Yeah, that's right. Death to you, snapd. What are we at now? 56. Is snapd still going? Okay, no snapd. Snapd is uninstalled. You're still going. Under 600 megs now. Yeah, no snaps. No snaps. Snaps are the devil. Got our fast battery-powered system. Bam, bam, bam. Yes. Everything. Look at that Chrome launch. I can flip around. Beautiful. Oops. Glorious. I think this is where we're going to end it. I love the little laptop. I'm going to tinker around some more. I really want to dive more into the actual performance and power specifications. I thought it was kind of wild using this cheap dock with like a Steam Deck charger, that it actually did charge up this laptop, even though when you look at the watts that thing can power, it's like 40 or 50. And the actual stock charger is, I think it was a 20 volt, 5 amp or 6 amp. So roughly 120 watts, literally double or triple what a Steam Deck charger can do. However, the Steam Deck charger still brought the laptop to 100%, and how it did it was underpowering the laptop while charging. So I don't know what tech's going on in the background there, but that's cool. I think that's awesome. So as much as I was sitting here throughout the stream going, God, this is kind of slow on the launches, it was all from that, which is, I'm kind of like jazzed about. I think it's really neat. Anyways, yeah, I think I really enjoy it. So anyways, 90 hertz panel sucks. In meh, I don't know if it's good price tag. Well, I mean, what panel would be your deal, Kane? That's the thing. Like, what are we looking at here? What is the best panel? I personally think the built-in panel looks amazing, but then again, I am a simpleton. And for me, I really like it. I like the 450 nits. It's super bright. So I can be outside working and not have to worry. Now, as far as discharge, now we set it on high performance. It's already to 96%. So it's been about 5-10 minutes since that happened. We can check the VOD and see what the discharge rate is. But we've lost about 3%, I think, since we've gotten off the charger on high performance. Now, if we went and set that to a different one, obviously it discharged a little slower, but something else to consider too. 144 hertz should be the standard for today's machines, in my opinion. Hey, I'm used to streaming at 60 hertz, so I will leave that in y'all's hands. If you need 144 hertz, I do agree. 144 hertz is nice. But the thing I like the most about Linux laptops, just in general, whichever brand you go with, you know, you pick a poison, is it works on all Linux distributions. So like, let's say I don't like Kubuntu and I'm going to wipe this out and install Arch or Debian or whatever. I can do that. And I know things will still work. I might have to install like some firmware drivers and stuff, but I could always reverse engineer what that laptop manufacturer did to get that working. Where on some specialized, especially gaming laptops, you got to really watch out. So don't get hung up too much on specs. I have to caution you on that, because going out and buying the latest, greatest thing and then just trying to install Linux on it, especially if it has a lot of bells and whistles, watch out for RGB stuff, because a lot of times there's all these little proprietary programs they tack into there, or special firmware blobs that are needed to make those things operate. So be careful when just chasing the spec sheet on the latest and then trying to get the most powerful laptop and then just installing Linux on it. That can sometimes be a bit of a headache. And OpenRGB is good. So yeah, that's where I'm at on that. But yeah, I do enjoy a 1440 screen. I don't think I'd want any more resolution than this laptop gives. I think it's around the 25,600. What was it? And then I gotta go. Let's see. Yeah, it's 2560 by 600. So it was a 16 by 10 ratio. And honestly, I'm kind of an old man. This is almost too much resolution for me. I know you guys are going to throw tomatoes at me for saying that, but I mean, that's a lot. I would never want to go higher than this for a resolution, especially with Linux scaling not being the best. So that's where I'm at. The resolution is great. I can fit tons on my screen. I can get a lot done when I'm in bed. So by no means am I knocking the resolution. All I'm saying is, man, if someone says in the comments, I have to have a laptop with 4K, I'm going to be like, I'm out. I just can't. Like, you could grab a 4K laptop and toss that Linux on it. I think it would just be an awful experience today. Now, maybe I'll eat my words in a couple years, but right now that's kind of where I'm at. Yeah. I mean, other than that, I think this great setup. So this is going to be my main daily driver, by the way. I don't think I even said that at the very beginning of the stream. I will be using this laptop for at least the next year or two, and then probably swap it out for another one. About every year or two, I always end up usually doing some kind of Linux laptop and then trying out the latest and greatest thing. So that's why you'll see like a laptop show up on my video feed like once every year or two. I think the last one I did was 2 years ago. So I enjoyed it. Well, anyways, guys, Thursday is going to be Linux utility. We're going to be back on the regular one. And I might have the laptop here just to test out some like Debian setup scripts, because we tested out Linux utility just for a little bit today at the very beginning. And we ran into some sudo issues and elevation issues in the script itself where we couldn't type in our sudo password. So I kind of want to tackle that a little bit and see where we go with Linux utility, because I do want to start building that out. I just want to make sure those first couple options kind of we iron out all those little kinks, which would be great. So that's how it is. I have a GT77 MSI. Linux is horrible. Yeah, I mean, Laptop mileage can drastically vary from laptop to laptop. A lot of times, you know, as much as I crap on Dells usually are decent on Linux compatibility, but the more bells and whistles a laptop has, the more chances of things going wrong when you install Linux. So, word of warning, guys and gals. So, with that, love you all. Have a great one. I'll see you guys in 2 days. On Thursday, we're going to be doing another stream. We'll tackle Linux utility, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.